Okay, this revision one about mathematics. We're starting the revision by looking at the rules. The first law of log xy equal log x plus log y to the same base a. Log x over y, division becomes subtraction. So it's log x minus log y to the same base a. Log x to the power k equals k log x to the base a. If log x to the base a equals log y to the same base a, then x equals y. Number 5 is important. Let us look at number 5. This is called changing the base. So log any number, for example, log x to the base 5. If we need to change the base to any other log, for example, log to the base 7. So we can write this log x to the base 7 over log 5 to the base 7. So we can change the base. Log x to the base 5 equal log x to the base 7 divided by log 5 to the base 7 or any other base. Log a to the same base a equals 1 and log 1 equals 0. Log x to the base 10 equal log x. So when we see log without any base, it means log x to the base 10. Len is log to the base e. What is e? It is approximately 2.7. That are the important rules in logarithm. Let us start the questions. I give you time to solve about 2 minutes and then I solve with you. Start question number 1. Solve the equation. Think of that equation, please. Solve, it means find the value of x. Ready? Now, let us think. What do you notice about the bases here? The bases are different. Take care for this question. So this is log x to the base 2, log x to the base 4, log x to the base 8. We need to get or to change it to the same base. We can say log. Log means log to the base 10. Then we convert all to log to the base 10. So we rewrite log x to the base 2 as log x. If we don't write the base, it means 10 over log 2 plus log x to the base 4. We change the base to be log x to the base 10, but we don't write 10 over log 4 plus log x to the base 8. It's log x over log 8. This equals what? Equals 22. We take log x as a common factor. Then we take outside here log x as a common factor. When we take log x as a common factor, it becomes 1 over log 2 plus 1 over log 4 plus 1 over log 8. All of this equals 22. Now use the calculator to get the bracket. Solve with me, please. 1 over log, so it's 1 over log 2, close the bracket, plus fraction 1 over log 4 plus fraction 1 over log 8 equal, the answer is 6.09. So 6.09 multiply log x equals 22. Divide by the number beside log, then log x only equals 22 over 6.09. We write 22 divided by the answer. It is 3.6. Here we have log. We need the value of x. To get the value of x, follow this step. We say x equals shift log answer. Shift log answer. So the answer is the value of x. It's 4096. Okay. So this is a tricky question. I hope you understand this question. Next question. Solve the equation. Try to solve. I give you 2 minutes to solve it. Are you ready? Okay. What is the difference between this question and the previous one? Here, it is the same log, so it's easier. But we have to write log without number beside. So this 2 comes at the power. Then we write the first one as log 2x plus 3 to the power 2 to the base 4 equals 1 plus. We can change the multiply plus to product because it is the same base. Then we write 1 plus 1 log to the base 4 x multiply 2x minus 1. Now collect logs to one side. Then what we do? We shift this log to the left side. Then it becomes log 2x plus 3 to the base 4 minus log x bracket 2x minus 1 to the base 4 equals 1. We can write 1 as log any number to the same. The base is 4. Then we can rewrite 1 as log 4 to the base 4. Because log 4 to the base 4 equals 1. Now, minus in log becomes divide. So this becomes divide. Then we write this as 1 log fraction 2x plus 3 divided by x bracket 2x minus 1 to the base 4 equals log 4 to the base 4. Now, if the bases are the same, then inside the log will be the same. It means this value inside log 4 equals 4. So we equate them. Then this becomes 2x plus 3 over x bracket 2x minus 1 equals 4. We can write 4 as 4 over 1. The denominator can be 1. Then this is over 1. And then we do cross multiplication. Okay. Then the answer is 2x plus 3 equals 4 multiply x multiply 2x minus 1. Expand the bracket. 2x plus 3 equals 4 times 2, 8x times x squared minus 4x times 1 is 4x. Collect them in one side to be quadratic equation. Then 8x squared which power? Which power 2? You missed the square of 2x plus 3. Yes, can I check? 2x plus 3. Yes, yes, thank you. So still 2x plus 3 to the power 2. Thank you. This is 2x. Yeah, thank you. Very good. So it's 2x plus 3 all to the power 2. Thank you. This is 2x plus 3 to the power of 2. Okay, thank you very much for this comment. Okay, now we expand the bracket first. Thank you, Ammar. Thank you, Fatma. Then, yeah, it's a 2x plus 3 or power 2 equals 4. Expand the bracket, first term squared, 4x squared, plus first times second times 2, 3 times 2, 6 times 2, 12x, plus second term squared. I expand the bracket. Expand the right side, 4 times 2, it's 8x squared minus 4x. Collect them in one side, so shift all to the right side. 8x squared minus 4x squared, 4x squared. Negative 4x and negative 12, negative 16x. 9 to the other side, it becomes negative 9 equals 0. Now, take care. In this part, I advise you, okay, I advise you to do what here? To solve it as a quadratic equation, okay? Just a few minutes, okay, and I come back, stop here, okay? Wow. Okay, no. Okay. Okay. Okay, beautiful. Sorry, guys. Okay. Yes. Now follow me, please. How can we solve this by using the calculator? Of course, we go to mode 3.3. Follow me, please. I will advise you how can you use the calculator to solve this. We go to the calculator, mode 3.3. Then, when you go to the calculator, it becomes x equals 9 over 2, or x equals negative half. We write this as a bracket to be factorizing. So in factorizing, it becomes 2x minus 9 plus 2x plus 1 equals 0. And then you will get this answer. So x equals 9 over 2, or x equals negative half. What about negative half? We have in the question log x. So x cannot be negative or 0. And also in the given, he said x greater than half. Then we reject x equals negative half. So this is refused. Then the solution of this equation is x equals 9/2. Okay, now let us we see another question. Yeah. Now try to solve that, please. Given that y equals log x to the base 3, find expressions in terms of y for each one. Is it easy for you? Let us we do part I. Part I, it's log x to the base 3 minus log 9 to the base 3. Log x to the base 3 is y minus 9, it's 3 power 2. So it's log 3 power 2 to the base 3. 2 becomes in front. Then it will be y minus 2 log 3 to the base 3 equals 1. So it's 2 times 1. Finally, in simplest form, it's y minus. Now, the next one, log square root of x. Square root of x is x power half. So we write this as log x power half to the base 3. Half comes in front of log. So it's a half log x to the base 3. Log x to the base 3 from the given it's y. So it's half y. Write your answer in sim. Now, hence solve the equation. How can we solve this? Log x, okay, this value here before we got it, this one, log x over 9 in simplest form has this value, y minus 2. And log square root of x has this value. Then we replace the log by their values. Then it becomes 2, open bracket, y minus 2 minus half y equals 2. Distribute 2 over the bracket. So it's 2y minus 4 minus half y equals 2. 2y minus half y, 1.5 y, or 3 over 2y. Negative 4 go to the other side, becomes a positive 4. 4 plus 2, 6. Divide by 3 over 2, then y equals 6 divided by 3 over 2 will be 4. So the value of y, this is the solution. Y equals 4. Solve it means find the x. What is the value of x? Y equals log x to the base 3. Then we write this as log x to the base 3 because we need the value of x, not the value of y. Log the number to the base equal the power, then x equals 3 to the power 4. 3 to the power 4, 81. So the value of x is 81. Okay. Now, can you solve question number 4, please? Try. Ready? Now, solve the equation. It means find the variable, the value of the variable. The variable is x. Now, log cubic root of 10. Then it becomes log 10 to the power 1/3. Remember, guys, square root of a equals a power half. Cubic root of a is a power 1/3. Cubic root of a squared is a power 2 over 3. Then this becomes 10 to the power 1/3 to the base 10 equals x. 1/3 comes in front of log. So it's 1/3 log 10 to the base 10. Log 10 to the base 10 equals 1. Then the value of x is 1/3 because this value equals 1. Then x equals 1/3. So this is the solution. Next. Given that, find in simplest form in terms of k. Now, try to solve that part. Okay. Ready for the first part? Sorry, I go quickly to finish the revision in the time. So it's log the square root of a to the base a minus log b to the base a. Log b to the base a is k. So this log has value k. What about log square root? Square root, it means the power half. Then it's log a power half to the base a minus k. Half comes in front of the log. So it's a half log a to the base a 1 minus k. Half times 1 is half, so the value is half minus k. Next, double I. So this equals log a squared b to the base a minus log b cubed to the base a. Multiply in log will be plus. Then the first log is log a squared to the base a plus log b to the base a minus. Now this 3 comes in front of log because it's a power. So it's a 3 log b to the base a. Okay, now from the given, log b to the base a equals k. Log b to the base a equals k. What about log a squared to the base a? 2 comes in front of log. Then it will be 2 log a to the base a, which is 1, plus log b to the base a, I said it's k, minus 3k. So the value in simplest form, 2 times 1, 2, k minus 3k minus 2. So this is the answer in simplest form. Okay, now try to solve that. Number 6, please. Go ahead. Number 6. Okay, guys. Now, how can we solve this type of questions? 2 power x, 2 power x, 2 power 2x plus 1. The smaller value is 2 power x. Then we write here, let 2 to the power x equals 1. What about 2 power 2x plus 1? 2 power 2x plus 1, it's 2 power x all squared. Multiply 2 power 1. 2 power x is y, so it's y squared. Multiply 2 power 1, so it's 2y squared. Then we rewrite the equation in another letter. So 2 power 2x plus 1 will be 2 y squared minus 17y plus 8 equals 0. We solve this by using the calculator mod 3. You will get here, but I use the pencil. You can do this in the exam. So x equals 3, okay? Sorry, y equals 8, or y equals half. When we write this in brackets to be factorization, so it's y minus 8 bracket 2y minus 1 equals 0. Then we write y equals 8 or y equals half. Y is 2 power x. So 2 power x equals 8. 8 we can write it as 2 power 3. If the bases are the same, the powers are the same, so x equals 6. This is the first solution. Y equals half, it means 2 power x equals half. Half is 2 power negative 1. The bases are the same, so the powers equal. X equals negative 1. X equals negative 1, acceptable because it is not log, it is power. Next question, solve the equation. Try, and I help you, but try first. Ready? The first step, change minus to be multiplied because it's len. To be divided, minus will be divided. Then the left side becomes len x plus 1 over x equals. These two becomes power, then it will be len 2 power 2. Len equal len, then the inside len are equal. So it means x plus 1 over x equals 2 power 2, which is 4. So x plus 1 over x equals 4. We can say 4 over 1 and do Caesar's cross multiplication. So x plus 1 equals 4x. We need the value of x. Shift x to the left side, to the right side. Okay, then 1 equals 4x minus x. 1 equals 3x, divide by 3, then x equals 1 over. Okay, is it easy for you? I think this easy question. Now, next question. Try to solve number 8, please. I give you 2 minutes to solve, and then I return back to you. They said use logarithm to solve the equation 14e power negative 2x equal 5 to the power x plus 1. Right? And I help you. But try first. Okay? Now, we said using log. Actually, we use log or len. Both are correct, but len is easier, especially if the base is not 10. Now we take len both sides. Len, it means log to the base e. So take len both sides. Then len 14 e power negative 2x equals len 5 to the power x plus 1. Put this in bracket. 14e, it means 14 times. Then it becomes a plus. So it's len 14 plus len e power negative 2x equals. This bracket, it will be product multiply, so x plus 1 len 5. Solve, it means find the value of x. Complete with me. Len 14. Now, negative 2x comes in front of len, so it will be negative 2x len e. Len e equals 1. Distribute len 5 over the bracket. Then it's x len 5 plus len 5. Collect x's in one side and len 5 to the other side. Then it becomes len 14 minus len 5 equals x len 5 plus 2x, because len e equals 1. So it's a plus 2x. Take x common factor from this. Then inside the bracket will be len 5 plus 2. The left side is len 14 minus len 5. Now we need x. Then divide by the bracket beside x. So x equals len 14 minus len 5 over len 5 plus 2. Use your calculator to get the answer. Check with me, please. Len 14, close the bracket, minus len 5 over len 5 plus 2. Okay? The answer is, what's your answer, please? What's your answer? You get the answer? What's your answer? Okay, my answer is 0.28. So x equals 0.28. Yes? Yes, 0.285. Excellent. X equal 0.28 to 2 decimal places, I advise you. So it's 0.29. Now, question number 9. Try to solve it, please. Solve the equation. How to solve this? Rewrite the power to be positive. Then 2x plus 3 over 2x. We shift negative x down equals 4. Then we say let 2 to the power x equals y. So y plus 3 over y equals 4. Multiply both sides by y. So this side multiplied by y, and also this side multiplied by y. Distribute y. Then y times y, y squared. Y cancel with y. 4 times y, 4y. This becomes a quadratic equation. Y squared minus 4y plus 3 equals 0. Use the calculator, quadratic, mod 33. You will get here, look, you can see I write with pencil. You can do this in the exam. So y equals 3 or y equals 1. Write the brackets because it's factorization. So y minus 3 bracket y minus 1 equals 0. Then y equals 3 or y equals 1. Remember, we need to get x because solve it means find the variable. Y equals 3, it means 2 to the power x equals 3, or 2 to the power x equals 1. 1, we can write it as 2 to the power of 0. The bases are equal, those powers equal, so x equals 0. We accept x equals 0 because it is not len, it's exponential. The other side, 2x equals 3, take len both sides to get the value of x. So len 2 power x equals len 3. X len 2 equals len 3. So x equals len 3 over len 2. Len 3 over len 2 approximately equals 1.6. So this is the second solution. Question number 10. Can you do? It's the same idea, but here we convert 1 to be, okay, we do cross multiplication. Then 1 multiply e power negative x, e power negative x plus e power x equals 1 times 2 equals. The same idea like before, change the power to be positive, so it's 1 over e power x plus e power x equals 2. Let e power x equals y, 1 over y plus y equals 2, multiply by y, both sides. So this term multiplied by y, and this also multiplied by y, then this becomes y times 1 over y, it's 1, y times y, y squared, 2 times y, 2y. Quadratic equation, y squared minus 2y plus 1 equals 0. By using the calculator, y equals 1. Then, to write as factorization, so we write y minus 1 because it's a repeated factor equals 0. Then y equals 1. Y is e power x. E power x equal 1. 1, it means e power 0. Then x equals 0. Okay? This is the solution. Next question. Solve. Try to solve that one. I think it's a little hard, but try. What is the first step? In power, plus it means product. Then we write this equation as e to the power 2x multiply e to the power ln x plus 2 e power x multiply e power ln x minus x e to the power, we take 3 to be power. So it's e to the power ln 2 power 3 equals 0. Note that. Okay, note that. E to the power ln x equals x. Then e power 2x, it becomes x, multiply e power 2x plus 2 e power x multiply x minus x multiply 2 power 3 is 8. E power ln 8 is 8. So equals 0. X is repeated factor. Then we take x as a common factor. Then e power 2x plus 2 e power x minus 8 equals 0. Product of two numbers or things equals 0. So if a multiply b equals 0, then a equals 0 or b equals 0. But here, x is a number. So this x cannot be 0, not equal 0. Why? Because it's ln x. We have here ln x. X must be positive, not 0. Then the bracket itself equals 0. So only the bracket e power 2x plus 2 e power x minus 8 equals 0. Let e power x equals y. Then we solve it. So let e to the power x equals y. So e power 2x equal y squared. Then the equation becomes y squared plus 2y minus 8 equals 0 by using the quadratic formula. Okay, here y equals 1 or y equals 2, negative 2. Then the factorization is y minus 1. Can you see what I did? Y minus 1 bracket y plus 2 equals 0. Then y equals 1 or y equals negative 2. So y equals 1 or y equals negative 2. Negative 2 refused because it's exponential. The exponential cannot be negative. So this is refused. Y equals 1, it means e to the power x equals 1. 1, it means e power 0. Then the value of x is 0.
استاذ
Yes.
اليوم انا سويت كوادرتيك فورميلا طلع معي غير ال 1 minus 2 طلع معي 2 minus 4.
Yes, maybe yes. I check. Oh, minus 8. I check. Yes, 2 minus 4. Yes, thank you. It's 2 minus 4. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So y equals 2. Yes. Or y equals negative 4. Thank you, Amma. Yes. Then this y plus y minus 2 or y plus 4. Thank you, my friend. So y equals 2 or y equals negative 4. Negative 4 refused. Then the last answer here, reject this. Thank you. Y equals 2. Okay, it's ex. So ex equals 2. 2, it means 2 to the power. Okay, no. We have to take ln both sides. So ln e power x equals ln 2. Then x equals ln 2. Okay, we can get ln 2 by using the calculator. So ln 2 equals 0.69. So approximately 0.69. Thank you, Ammar. Okay. Now, next. Okay, try to solve this, please. Solve the equation e to the power 4x plus. Think with me how to solve this. Of course, e power ln 3 equals 3. So this is the first step. And then we can do cross multiplication. So this over 1 and do scissors, cross multiply. 1 times e power 4x, e power 4x plus e power 3x plus e power 2x equals 3 e power 2x. Collect them in one side. So e power 4x plus e power 3x plus e power 2x minus 3 e power 2x equals 0. Okay, now the like terms here. So e power 4x plus e power 3x minus 2 e power 2x equals 0. Take e power 2x common factor. So e power 2x, divide each term by the common factor, e power 4x divided by e power 2x, e power 2x. Plus 3x divided by 2x, it's e power x, minus 2 equals 0. E power 2x cannot be 0. Then this bracket equals 0. Then we solve this value or this bracket here. So e power 2x plus e power x minus 2 equals 0. Let e power x equals y. So y squared plus y minus 2 equals 0. We solve this equation with quadratic. So y equals 1 or y equals negative 2. Bracket, it's y minus 1, y plus 2 equals 0. So y equals 1 or y equals negative 2 refused because y is e power x. E power x cannot be negative because it's exponential. So e power x equals 1. 1, it means e power 0. So x equals 0. Okay? Okay, guys? Next, try to solve that question, please. Number 13. It's easy question, but just think. If y equals e power x and ln y equals 16, how can we solve this? Think with me. Okay? Just replace ln y by e power x. Then we start from this, the given. Yeah. Ln y equals 16. Then ln e power x equals 16. Ln e power x is x. So it's ln x equals 16. Then we go to the required. He said, prove that. So square root of ln x plus 1 equals square root of 16 plus 1. Square root of 16 is 4. 4 plus 1 equals 5. This is the required. Now, we go to the inequality. Okay? The logarithm is an increasing function. When we draw the log,
أستاذ
it will be like, yes, Ammar.
ليش سويت بلس 1 بلس 1 بلس 1 both sides؟
No. He said prove that ln square root of ln x plus 1 equal 5. This is the required. They said show that. This. So the left side, Ammar, the left hand side is that. This is the left hand side. The square root of ln x plus 1. Ln x in simplest form, we found it's equal 16. So it is the square root of 16 plus 1. The square root of 16 is 4. 4 plus 1 equals 5. Equals the right hand side. You got it?
Yes, Mr.
Yes. Now we go to the inequality. We said the logarithm is increasing function. When x increases, y increases. Then we can take ln, but take care if you divide by negative value. For example, guys, we know that 5 is greater than 3. If we multiply by negative 1, then negative 5 will be less than negative 3. Then when we multiply or divide by negative value, we change the direction of inequality. Let us resolve the question number 14 together. Think first of question number 14. I help you. But try first to solve number 14. Find the set of values. Not only one value, it is a set of values of x for which. Try to think of it. Of course, we take what? Ln both sides. Then ln 2 multiply 3 to the power 1 minus 2x less than ln 5 to the power x. This is the rule. You can take ln both sides in case of inequality because it is increasing function. Now, simplify. How to simplify this? Product, it will be plus, then it becomes ln 2 plus ln 3 to the power 1 minus 2x. Less than, we can take x down, so x len 5. Okay? We need to get the values of x. The power comes down. So len 2 plus 1 minus 2x len 3 less than x len 5. Distribute len 3 over the bracket. Then it becomes len 2 plus len 3 minus 2x len 3 less than x len 5. Collect x's in one side, no problem, plus or minus, that cannot change the direction. Only divide or multiply. Then len 2 plus len 3 less than x len 5 plus 2x len 3. We need the values of x. Take x common factor. So, len 2 plus len 3 less than len 5 plus 2 len 3 multiplied by x. I take x outside as a common factor. Now take care. We need to divide by len 5 plus 2 len 3. Go to the calculator and find the value of this. Before to do division. Now, by using calculator, len 5 plus 2 len 3 equal, it's positive. So this value, this bracket is positive. So we can divide it without changing the direction of inequality. Then divide by this bracket, len 5 plus 2 len 3. Also this side, divide by len 5 plus 2 len 3. Why? To cancel this bracket with this bracket. Then the set of values, we write x here in the same position or in the same place. Now, we go to the calculator and we write fraction len 2, close the bracket, plus len 3, close the bracket, over len 5 plus 2 len 3. Okay? Equal. The answer is 0.47. So x greater than 0.47. We write here x greater than 0.47. This is the set of values that verify the inequality. Okay? Now, let us solve this question. Try with me. Find the set of values. Try to solve it quickly, okay? And I help you, because after the next question, we take a break for prayer and return. So try to solve this quickly as you can. Okay, ready? Now, the first one is easy, part I. I do it quickly. Part I. Shift 5 to the other side. So 3 power x greater than or equal 32 minus 5. 32 minus 5, 27. Then 3 to the power x greater than or equals 27. Take len both sides. So x len 3 greater than or equals len 27. Len 3 is positive. So x greater than or equals len 27 over len 3. The answer, okay, so len 27 over len 3, I do it with the calculator. Len, or we can, without calculator, we can do it. But to be sure, it's 3. So x is greater than or equals 3. Now, the second part double I. Okay, here. Take len both sides. So len 0.6 to the power x. When you take len, it becomes x len less than len 0.8. Now, find the len 0.6. Len 0.6 equals negative. So take care. Len 0.6 is negative number. Then when we divide by len 0.6 both sides, we have to convert the direction of inequality. Change it. Then it becomes x greater than len 0.8 over len 0.6. Fraction len 0.8 over len 0.6 equal, the answer is 0.44, approximately 0.44. Then we write x greater than 0.44. Now, the same way I do the third part here. Take 1 to the other side, so 0.5x less than or equals 1 minus 0.2 equal 0.8. Take len both sides, so x len 0.5 less than or equals len 0.8. The same, len 0.5 is negative. So this len is negative, okay? This negative value. Then when we divide by len 0.5, len 0.5, we have to change the direction. Then x in that part is greater than or equals len 0.8 over len 0.5. Fraction len 0.8 over len 0.5 equal 0.32. So x greater than or equals 0.32. Okay, guys? Now, what about the last one? Let us think of the last one. Okay? Now, tell me how to solve it, if you know. IV. 1 less than or equals 7 to the power x less than 5. We take len each side. Then len 1, len 7 power x, len 5. Okay? Now, okay? Len 1 equals 0. X len 7 less than len 5. We need the values of x. Then we divide by what? By len 7. Divide by len 7. Divide by len 7. Also this side divide by len 7. First of all, we find the value of len 7. Is it positive or negative? Len 7 also, it's positive. Okay? So it is 1.9. It's positive. Then we don't change the direction of inequality. 0 divided by len 7 equals 0. X less than. Len 5 divided by len 7. Fraction. Len 5 divided by len 7 equal 0.83. So this is the solution. 0.83. Now, the last question about the inequality. Okay. He said use the logarithm to show that the solution of the inequality is. Try to think of it. Of course, we're starting by taking len both sides. Okay, so we take len both sides. Len 2 power x less than len 3 power 2x minus 1. Then x len 2 less than bracket 2x minus 1 len 3. We need x. Then distribute len 3 over x len 2 less than 2x len 3 minus len 3. Now, what we do? Shift negative len 3 to the left side. and x ln 2 to the other side, to the right side. Then we will get that. Ln 3 less than 2x ln 3 minus x ln 2. Take x common factor. So ln 3 less than 2 ln 3 minus ln 2 multiply x. Now, simplify this. How? It's ln 3, okay? Okay, less than 2 becomes power, so it's 9, ln 9. Then it's ln 9 divided by 2. Okay? This multiplied by x. So ln 3 less than ln 4.5x. Now, what about ln 4.5? Ln 4.5 is positive. Then we can divide by it. So x greater than ln 3 over ln 4.5. This is the required. This is x greater than. That is x greater than ln 3 over ln 4.5. Okay, guys? Just we take a break and then we return back after the break. Okay, exponential function y equals e to the power of x. And the logarithmic function. They are inverse of each other. So, e to the power x, it is a curve, intersects y-axis at the point 0 and 1. It has asymptote, x-axis, horizontal asymptote. The domain of all e power x is x belongs to R. The range is y greater than 0. Ln x, it is inverse function of e. So ln x intersects x-axis at 1 and 0. Remember the domain and the range. First of all, let us revise how can you get the inverse function. For example, okay, if f of x equals 3x minus 5, how can we get the inverse? We have 4 steps. First step, write f of x as y. Second step, replace y by x and x by y. Third step, make y subject. So shift negative 5 to the other side. So x plus 5 equals 3y divided by 3. So y equals x plus 5 over 3. Y is the inverse. So f of negative 1, x equals x plus 5 over 3. What is the relation between the function and the inverse? The domain of the function equals the range of the inverse and vice versa. And also the function and its inverse are symmetrical about the line y equals x. Now we solve the questions about the inverse. Question number 17. Start to solve and then I help you, but try first. What is the first step? The first step, write f of x as y. So y equals 1 plus e to the power 5x. Second step, replace y by x and x by y. Third step, we need to write y as a subject or make y subject. Shift 1 to the other side. X minus 1 equals e power 5y. Take len both sides. Len x minus 1 equals 5y len e is 1. Then y equals len x minus 1 over 5. Y is the inverse. So f of negative 1x equals len x minus 1 over 5. So this is the inverse. Okay? Next, try to solve this piece. Find the inverse function. Okay, ready? Now, first step, we write f of x as y. So y equals 1/3 len x plus 1. Change y to x and x to y. So x equals 1/3 len y plus 1. Multiply by 3 to cancel this 3. So multiply by 3 both sides. Multiply by 3 and also multiply by 3 to cancel 3 with 3. 3x equals len y plus 1. Remember this formula, len x to the base e equals y. So x equals e to the power y. Len the number to the base e equals the power. Then y plus 1 equals e power 3x. Shift 1 to the other side. So y equals e to the power 3x minus 1. Y is the inverse. Then f of negative 1x equals e power 3x minus 1. Okay. Next, find the inverse. Try to solve this. Right? First step, we write y equal len 4x plus 12. Change between y and x. So x equals len 4y plus 12. 4y plus 12 equals e to the power x. 4y equals e power x minus 12. So y equals e to the power x minus 12 over 4. This is the inverse. So the inverse f of negative 1x equals e to the power x minus 12 over 4. Now, try to solve number 20. Read the question, be careful, and tell me, do you understand it or not? Okay? Ready? First step, f of x is y, len x minus 7. Second step, replace y by x and x by y. x equals ln y minus 7. Y minus 7 equals e power x. Y equals e power x plus 7. This y is the inverse. Then f of negative 1x equals e power x plus 7. He said f of negative 1a, then we replace x by a. So f of negative 1a equals e power a plus 7. He said equals 8, so this equals 8. Shift 7 to the other side, so e power a equals 8 minus 7 equals 1. 1 is e power 0. Then a equals 0. Okay, guys? So this part is about algebra. Now we go to the next important part. We have to revise or remember that transformations. The first one, reflection in x-axis. If negative is outside. What do you mean by that? For example, y equals negative e power x. So it is reflection in x-axis. How? This is x, and this is y, and this is the function e of x, e to the power x. If we put a mirror at x-axis, then we reflect e power x, then it becomes like this. So this is e, negative e power x, intersects y-axis at the point negative. So if the negative is in front of the function, it will be reflection in x-axis. If the negative with x, it will be reflection in y-axis, like that. Y equals e power negative x. How can we represent this graphically? 0, x, y. This is the function e power x. We reflect this function on y-axis, then this is the curve. So this is e power negative x. F of x plus a, horizontal translation of magnitude negative a, like this. Y equals e to the power x plus 2. It is horizontal translation of a square factor 2. This does not affect to the curvature. So how can we draw this? Or how can we sketch it, not draw? Now, what is e power, if x equals 0, so it's e power 2. Then it's the same curve, but this point is not 1. It's e power 2. So this is the curvature, just the curvature of e power x changes. What about f of x plus 1? It is vertical translation. And sometimes in curve of, in terms of e, it will be asymptote. So for example, y equals e power x plus 2. So it is vertical translation of scale factor 2 and asymptote y equal to. Then this x-axis and this y-axis. Now this is the asymptote, y equal to, and this is the curve. How can we get the point of intersection with y-axis? Replace x by 0. E power 0, 1 plus 2, 3. So this is the curve. So asymptote y equal to, and vertical translation of 2. Now, f of ax, like this. Y equals e power 2x. So it is horizontal stretch of a scale factor half. How can we do this? It is the same as e power x. Because when you replace x by 0, e power 0 is 1. Finally, if we have a number in front of the function, it is vertical stretch, like this. Y equals 2 e power x. It is vertical stretch. It's the same function, but here the point of intersection with x-axis will be not 1. When you replace x by 0, it will be 2. Yes, Shad? Yes? Yes, Bob? What do you want? I check the question. Okay. Yes. Yes, Bob. Yes, chat. What do you want, Bob? Ask me. Yes, I will explain now, but just give me time because just I give you the idea now. Just give me time because we have many questions about this because it's a hard topic in E and L. Yes, let us we go to this. Started to solve that questions. He said from the figure find the domain, range, and asymptote. This is a typical question of the final exam. Domain, range, and asymptote. Start, please. Solve part A and tell me your answer. To reduce the time, we can say the domain denoted by D, the range denoted by R, asymptote denoted by A. Now, for the first one, what is the domain? For all e power x, the domain is x belongs to R without thinking. So for all e power x, the domain is R. So the domain x belongs to R. What about the range? The range depends on the asymptote. The range of the first curve is y greater than. What is the asymptote? Y equals. Now, part B. Think with me, please. The domain of all E is x belongs to R. So the domain is x belongs to R without thinking for all e power x. Now, what is the range? The range is the values of x. The curve does not touch x-axis, so the range is y greater than 0. Asymptote is the same as x-axis, so we write x-axis or y equals 0. Okay? Now, next. Part C. Yes. The domain, I said for all E, the domain x belongs to R. The range in that curve, all the curve greater than -3. So we write y greater than -3. What is the asymptote? Y equals -3. Part D, the domain x belongs to R. Can you see? For all e power x, the domain x belongs. What is the range? All y down to x, y equal 4. So the range, the values of the function less than 4. Asymptote, y equals 4. Next, part E. The domain x belongs to R. The range, all the curve up to y equals 6. So we write the range is y greater than 6. And the asymptote is the line y equals 6. Part F, the domain x belongs to R, and the range, all the curve greater than 10, so we write y greater than 10, and the asymptote is the line y equals 10. Okay, guys? You understand? Now we go to the length. Try to think with me of the length. What do we need? The domain, range, and the asymptote. For length, the domain of length equal the range of E. And the range of length equal the domain of E. Okay, now I do a revision again after this question. Now, first of all, what is the domain? The domain is the values of x. X greater than -1. Okay, now, what is the range? The range is the domain of E. So the range for all length is y belongs to R. So the range is y belongs to R. What is the asymptote? It is vertical asymptote. So x equals -1. This is the asymptote. Now, part B, the domain x greater than 0. Asymptote x equals 0. The range y belongs to R. Part C, the domain domain x greater than 0. The asymptote x equals 0. The range is y belongs to R. Now, part D, can you see it is not len. It is len x all squared. So take care for this type of function. The domain x greater than 0. But what about the range here in that one? Oh, the range y can be 0. Then the range is y greater than or equal 0. The asymptote is y-axis, which is x equals 0. Next, this is len. So what is the domain? The domain is x less than 4. The asymptote is x equals 4. The range y belongs to R. Now also this len. Then the domain is x greater than -2. The asymptote is x equals -2. And the range, of course, y belongs to R. Let us solve this question. Try to solve this, please. Find from the graph the domain, range, and the asymptote. Try to think of. Okay. Now, what is the domain? Now, take care. This is not len. It is absolute value of len. So the domain here, the asymptote is x equal 1. So the domain is x greater than 1. X, okay, greater than 1. This is the domain. What is the range? Oh, can you see? The range on y-axis. So -1, okay, in the domain, in the range. So the domain is y greater than or equals -1. What is the asymptote? The asymptote is that line, x equals 1. Can you see the marks? 4 marks. Why 4 marks? This is past paper question. So the domain has 1 mark, the asymptote has 1 mark, and the range has 2 marks. 1 mark for y greater than -1 and another for equal. Okay? Yeah. Now, question number 24. We need the domain, the range, and the asymptote. What is the domain? The domain on x-axis, all the values of x except 2. How can we write this? So the domain x belongs to R, but x not equals to 2. Cannot be 2. Because x equals 2 is asymptote in that. Also, this is not len. It is negative absolute value of x minus 2. Now, what is the range? The range is y belongs to R. So the curve going up and down. What is the asymptote? It is the vertical line, x equals 2. Next. Now, that question, can you see, has 4 marks. What is the domain? The domain is the values of x. The curve going to infinity in both sides. So the domain is x belongs to R. No problem. X can take positive value or 0. What about the range? The range in the exam has 2 marks. Why? The range on y-axis, listen to me. The curve does not touch y equals 1. So we exclude 1 from the range. But all of these values include in the range. Then the range is y greater than 1, cannot be 1 because 1 is asymptote, but can be 5. So we write less than or equals 5. Now, what about the asymptote? The asymptote, it is horizontal asymptote. So y equals 1. So the asymptote is y equals. Okay? Now, next, okay? Find from the graph domain, range, and asymptote. Think with me before to solve. We need the domain, the range, and the asymptote. Okay, ready? The domain, denoted by D, all the values of x except this value, 0. So y equals 0 is asymptote. Sorry, x equals 0 is asymptote. Okay, it is vertical asymptote. Then the domain is x belongs to R, but x not equal 0. What about the range? The curve going up and down to infinity. So the range y belongs to what? Y belongs to R. This is the range. What about the asymptote? The asymptote is the y-axis, which is x equals 0. Now, let us see this question. Try to solve this. It said sketch the graph. Now, we need to analyze this one. Okay, step by step, please. Now, when negative with x-axis, do you remember? Okay, the transformation when the negative with x, yes, where? Yeah, the negative with x, so it is reflection in y-axis. So the negative in x is reflection in y-axis. So here, this negative is reflection in y-axis. Reflection in y-axis. What about 100? Okay, 100 is what is vertical stretch. Vertical stretch. It's okay? Do you understand? Okay, it is a vertical, okay, stretch. What about negative 10? Negative 10, it is vertical translation, and also asymptote. Now, we need to sketch. Sketch, it means it is not like draw. In draw, we have to write 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, a sketch, just write the axis. Then we write x-axis, okay, here, x-axis. This is x-axis. And then this is y-axis. Okay, now, first of all, e power negative x, we said it is reflection in what? In y-axis. Then, but before to do anything, we have to draw the asymptote. Asymptote is y equals negative 10. So this is the asymptote. Y equals negative 10. But the curve maybe intersects x-axis and y-axis. So before to sketch, we have to get the points of intersection with the axis. Now, follow me, please. When x equals 0, what is the value of y? Replace x by 0. E power 0 is 1 times 100, 100 minus 10, 90. Then the curve intersects y-axis at the point 90. This is the point 90. This is 0. Now, on x-axis, replace y by 0. So 100 e power negative x equals 10 when you replace y by 0. So e power negative x equals 10 divided by 100, 1 over 10. Take len both sides, يبقى negative x equals len 1.0, 0.1. Now x equals len, okay, it is len 0.1, okay, divided by negative 1, so it is 2.3. I repeat again, which part from the beginning or which part, Shah, you need? Which part I revise? How can we get the intersection? The last one, it's okay. Yes, it's okay. Again, I remove this and I repeat again. Okay, I repeat this part again. Now, I said the asymptote is y equals negative 10. It is not y equals 0. If it's y equals 0, the intersection just one point with y-axis. But because the asymptote is down to x-axis, then we have intersection with x-axis and y-axis. First of all, we need the intersection point with y-axis. To get this point, put x equals 0. So replace x by 0. So y equals 100 multiply e power 0 minus 10 equals 90. Then the point of intersection with y-axis is 0 and 90. We need the point of intersection with x-axis. Replace y by 0. Then 0 equals 100 e power negative x minus 10. Shift negative 10 to the other side. So 100 e power negative x equals 10. Divide by 100. E power negative x equals 10. Divide by 100. It is 0.1. Take len both sides. So negative x equals len 0.1. Then x equals len 0.1 divided by negative 1. I do this. Fraction. Len 0.1 divided by negative 1. The answer is 2.3 approximate. Then the curve intersects x-axis at the point 2.3. Now we draw the curve. So the curve here, we say it is reflection in y-axis. The first curve, e power x, this is e power x. When you reflect it by x-axis, by y-axis, comes like this. But here we have transformations. Then the curve looks like this. Okay, here. And then pass the point of intersection with x-axis and going up, up, up. So this is the curve. Okay, it must be smooth curve. So this is the curve here. It's y equals 100 e power negative x minus 10. He said state the domain, range, and the asymptote. Okay, now we need the domain, range, and asymptote. Okay. Okay, just a minute. So this is part B. Okay, now, what is the domain? The domain of all the function e is x belongs to R. So the domain is x belongs to R. What is the range? The range of this curve is y greater than negative 10. What is the asymptote? The asymptote, Mr. What do we do with 100? Oh, this 100, I said it is just a vertical stretch. It is affected to the point of intersection with y-axis. The asymptote is y equals negative 10. Here we talk about sketching the curve, Shah. So the 100 affects to what? The point of intersection with y-axis. Okay, now, what about this len? Follow me, please. We need to sketch step by step. We said if the negative outside, what does this mean? We go back to the transformation. If the negative in front of the function, where is the transformation? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yes, Shah. What do you want, please? Yeah. Okay. Negative in front of the function, it is reflection in x-axis. Now, this is reflection in x-axis. So this negative means reflection in x-axis. Now, if the negative with x here, okay. So think with me, if it is 2 minus x, actually this one, it means translation, okay? Translation and reflection in y-axis. Now we need to study this step by step. We draw the curve. No, we draw the axis. This is the axis. Can you see here? This is the axis. First of all, what is len? Len, it looks like that. Now, we have negative in x-axis. So first, negative in front of x. It is reflection in y-axis. Then it becomes like this. Okay? So this is reflection in y-axis. What about here? Negative here, x. Okay? So this negative, it will be reflection in y-axis. Then we reflect again in y-axis. Okay? So it becomes here. But first, what is the asymptote? Because asymptote. Sorry for that, Ammar. Why you did not tell me, my friend? Sorry. Now, okay, I return back from where? Mic is mute, Ammar. From which part? From the beginning of the lesson or what? Okay. Now, can you follow me, please, here? Asymptote in B. Oh, which one? Here, asymptote here. Yeah. Okay. Now, so when x equals 0, when x equals 0, y equals 3 minus len 2. We find this by using calculator. 3 minus len 2 equals 2.3. So the curve passes through this point, 2.3. We need the point of intersection with x-axis. So put y equals 0. So 0 equals 3 minus len 2 minus x. Then len 2 minus x equals 3. 2 minus x equals e power 3. Rearrange 2 minus e power 3 equal x. 2 minus e power 3. The answer is negative 18. Negative 18. Then the point of intersection is negative 18. Now, how can we draw this? Okay, I said we have here reflection in y-axis. It's okay? Then when we reflect this curve in y-axis, it takes this position. Can you see? Because we have reflection in y-axis. But here the asymptote. So this is the curve. It looks like this. Okay? Okay. Now, we need to get the domain, the range, and the asymptote. What if the domain on x-axis, x less than 2, because asymptote is x. What if the range? The range is y belongs to r, going up and down. What is the asymptote? The asymptote is x equals. Okay, guys? This is a tricky question. I know it's not easy. Okay, now let us go to the next part. The graph of y is obtained from the graph y equals ln by a stretch of a scale factor parallel to y-axis and the translation. Find the scale factor of stretch. What is the stretch here? It said stretch of a scale factor parallel to y-axis. It means a vertical stretch. This is 2 is the vertical stretch. In the first one, y asymptote is 1. Yes. This is the len. For len, when the number inside the len, it will be asymptote. Now, I show you again the difference between this. Okay, yeah, sorry. Okay, I will show you something here. Look with you. Okay, note that e power x ln x. Okay? And let this e power x minus 2 and this ln x plus 2. Here. The asymptote is y equal to. Asymptote, okay, is y equals to 2. Then when we draw this one, so the asymptote is y equals negative 2. It's down here. Negative 2. Y equals negative 2. And this x, this is y. This is the asymptote. And the curve looks like that. What about this? When you equate this by 0, x plus 2 equals 0, x equals negative 2. So this is vertical asymptote. When we draw this, x equals negative 2 is the asymptote. And the curve looks like this. So this is the difference between the asymptote in case of E and the asymptote in case of ln. Okay? Now, he said the graph of y equals 2 ln is obtained from the graph by a stretch parallel to x-axis. So the scale factor 2. 2 is the horizontal stretch. Translation, this one, x minus 3 equals 0, so x equals 3. So the translation of scale factor 3. Okay? Now we go to the multiple choice question. In that question, it said the graph, what is the graph here? E power negative x. It is reflection in y-axis. Okay? So this curve is wrong. This is e power x. This is e power negative x. But negative 2 is asymptote. So this wrong and this wrong. And then the asymptote y equals negative 2. Yes. And it is reflection in y-axis. So this is the correct one. Now, in that one, number 30, he said, f of negative 1x equals e power x. G of x is obtained from by g of x. Okay, what is g of x? G of x, it is the inverse function. It's okay? So the inverse function is ln. So g of x is ln x. Okay, sorry. F of x is ln x. Sorry, this is f of x, not g of x. Now we talk about g of x. This is f of negative 1x. So the inverse of this function, f of x, is ln x. Now, g of x is obtained from f of x. This is ln x by a stretch of scale factor 3 parallel to y-axis. It means vertical stretch. So 3 ln x. Followed by translation. X is translation in x-axis, -4 in y-axis. So it's -4. So this is the function. 3 comes power to x, so it's ln x power 3 -4. So this is the correct answer. Next. What is that function, f of x? Oh, here we have +4. It means horizontal translation. So this one is correct. But what about this? No. If it's x +4, the curve going down because we have vertical translation 3. Then the best one is that. Of course, this is wrong. This is wrong. Now, next question. He said, f of -1. Okay. The graph of g is obtained from f of x. So this is f of -1x. We find f of x. How? We write y equals ln x minus 7. So x equals ln y minus 7. Y minus 7 equals e power x. Y equals e power x plus 7. So this is the function f of x. So f of x equals e power x plus 7. Now, it said g of x is obtained from f of x by a stretch of a scale factor 5 parallel to x-axis. Oh, so it's 1 over 5x with e. So e power this, e power 1 over 5x. This plus 7, followed by translation, -2. Okay? So what about here? -2 is the translation. So -2 is horizontal translation. Then we add here -2, okay? Because this is a translation, horizontal translation. But because it's -2, it becomes a +2, obviously. Then the correct answer is that. He said e power -ln. I think it's easy. Put negative up to x. So it's e power ln x power -1. So the answer is x power -1. It's 1 over x. So the correct answer is 1 over x. The inverse function of this one. Oh, the inverse, we write y equals e power 3x plus 2 minus 4. Replace x by y. So x equals e power 3y plus 2 minus 4. X plus 4 equals e power 3y plus 2. Take ln. So 3y plus 2 equals ln x plus 4 minus 2. Both sides, you have 3y equals ln x plus 4 minus 2 divided by 3. So y equals ln x plus 4 minus 2 over 3. Then the correct answer is this. Now, e to the power, all of this. Oh, e power ln. So e to the power ln, it becomes this. So the answer is 3 ln 2 plus 2 ln 3. So it's ln 2 power 3 is 8 plus ln 3 power 2 is 9. It's ln 8 times 9. It's okay? Sorry, it without ln. Sorry. This is without ln. Without ln. Sorry, guys. This without ln. Okay? So it's a good idea to simplify it. Do not do this mistake. So we write e to the power ln 3 up, so it's ln 8 plus ln 3 power 2, 9. So it's e to the power ln 72 equals 7. This one. Now, the inverse function. Now, the inverse is easy. When you do it, it will be, okay, the inverse function of this function. It is direct, I think. Okay, this is direct question here. And also this one, he said f of x and g of are symmetrical about y equals x. So if G is len, f of x is E. So it is inverse function of this. This is the inverse of G. The inverse function of this one, it will be 2 minus E. The translation, here we have horizontal translation and we have vertical translation. So this is the correct answer. Number 37, okay, x equals -5 is asymptotic. Then it's direct and easy. So this is the answer. Number 40 also, it's direct and easy. So the answer direct here. If you have any doubt, just send me a message in my WhatsApp. Also, this one is very easy and direct and easier than that before. It is direct x to the power 6. And number 42, the answer is 9x. Finally, 43, the answer is that part D. And 44 here, okay, the answer is -half. Just to simplify, if you have any doubt, I can solve with you, or I can give you the answer in WhatsApp. Also, this is the answer. It is, okay, translation 0 and 1. Last thing, 46 here, the answer is -3/2. Okay, guys, just I advise you to repeat that video more than one time. And I sent you the worksheet. Solve the worksheet again more than one time. I give you all the ideas about this topic. So everything about exponential and logarithm in that revision. I hope you understand this revision.